Good afternoon. It is the following day. Actually, it's a new vlog, isn't it? That's happy new vlog. But we're back in the woods that we were in at the end of the last vlog. Only the difference is, as you can see, there was a lot more people in our party. Some of them smaller, some of them bigger. And we are wandering along the North Downs way towards Shear. It was where we ended up yesterday. It's a nice little village. And past the vineyard that we were at yesterday, which is down the hill on the right.
Welcome to another episode of Toby's Stupid Vlog.
Here we are back in Shear. There's the ice cream shop. There's the high street. We're currently having a cup of tea and a cake. I'm not, but we collectively are. And now we're just negotiating how to get back to the car. Hello there. Happy Tuesday. It's Tuesday. I haven't filmed anything since Saturday, and there's a good reason for that. And the reason is as follows. So at some point last week, although it's not entirely clear when, I developed a rash on my neck, which you can probably see going up to my cheek at the moment. I didn't think much of it because I had been bitten a lot recently because it's summer and what have you. Then I thought it was a rash, thought I was allergic to something. Neither of those things are true. So I went to the pharmacist, and then I went to the walk-in centre in Teddington, and they informed me that I have shingles. Now, you may have heard of shingles, but you probably don't know what it is. The reason I keep touching my head and the reason I keep having to rub parts back of my neck is because shingles is probably the most excruciatingly painful illness, let's say, that you can catch. It is actually from the same virus that you get chickenpox from, and once you've had chickenpox, it actually stays dormant in your system. And apparently, the only thing that's supposed to trigger it is like heavy stress or being massively run down. But being 38, I've never had it up to this point. And what it does is you develop a rash, first of all, which is a bit like the pox and chicken pox, but they're just an irritant. But the virus itself essentially upsets the nerve endings around where it's got you. And upsets is somewhat of an understatement. It sends quite ferocious shooting pains between the nerves that it's hit. And it's agonising, if I'm honest. And from Sunday and Monday, I spent entirely in bed. And today I got up and I thought, I feel much better. And I was for a little bit, but it hasn't gone, and it's come back this afternoon. So I'm on very heavy painkillers indeed. And all I can tell you is don't get shingles. And if you are in the slightest doubt that you may have got it, as soon as you think you might, go to your GP, because in the first 48 hours, and only in the first 48 hours, they can prescribe an antiviral that will get rid of it. After then, there is nothing you can do, and you literally just have to live with it until it goes away again. And I can't tell you how unpleasant that is. But suffice to say, it's the most painful thing I've ever experienced by a wide margin. And it makes life a little bit difficult for at least a week. So that's where I've been, and that's why you haven't seen me. It occurs to me that you might never have seen someone or met someone who has shingles. So if you have any questions or what have you, and you'd like to ask away, then feel free in the comments or what have you. You can always contact me on Twitter at the name that is currently being displayed on the screen down there, and I will do my best to answer them. But the short of it is, it's bloody painful and there's nothing you can do. Good afternoon. It is Thursday, and I am finally feeling well enough to go out and carry on vlogging, frankly, other than my update on Tuesday. I think it was Tuesday, yeah, which was, I kind of got a bit of false hope Tuesday morning, thinking that it was only going to last like 2 or 3 days, but in reality it's still here. It's just that the pain has gone from unmanageable levels to like quite sort of background and, you know, not too annoying. Still not 100%, but a lot better. I will say that Sunday and Monday was pain like I've never experienced in my life. That gives you an idea of when I say shingles isn't very pleasant, what I really mean. And it's so nice to actually leave the flat and not feel like complete crap and have to keep alternating between sitting in the living room and lying in the bedroom, because that is really dull after a while. It might not feel like it, but it's been literally 2 weeks since I was in Kew, and in fact, you know, I haven't been here since the heat wave ended. Look, the grass is green again mostly. It's insane how quickly that turns around. It's so nice compared to the sort of 32 degree sweltering misery that I had at the start of last week, which is I think where all this shingliness originated. It's usually brought on by stress, apparently, although I don't think that I was more stressed than normal. Anyway, so it was very unpleasant working in really hot conditions, stuck in a room for 2 days, and I think that's slightly pushed me over the edge, let's say. But anyway, good news is you can't catch shingles from another person with shingles. You can catch chicken pox if you've never had it, but that's it. So I'm reasonably safe to be around. Just briefly, in less cheering news, Aretha Franklin has just passed away. You know, don't need to tell you how incredible an artist she's been. She has had cancer for a number of years, and she's been quite seriously ill for the last week. So it didn't come as a huge shock, but it is very sad. It's always sad when you lose an artist of such high calibre. You feel like the world is just a little bit poorer. It's probably not quite true. The reality is that, you know, there's always great artists being born. You just don't know it yet. You might not see the fruits for 40 years, but nonetheless, it's never good to lose someone who's so iconic. And who I associate so much actually with the last president of the United States. He was such a massive fan, and the US is just not having a good time. There does appear to be 2 separate weddings occurring at Kew at the moment. I've just come from Cambridge Cottage, and there was a large group of wedding attired people there, and now I've just come towards the Nash Conservatory, and a white carriage being pulled by white horses just went past to the cheers of many people outside. So double wedding on a Thursday. That's unusual, but there we go. Being out of the world for a week means that trying to be topical is quite difficult. I usually try and at least cover the big stories if I have an opinion on them, but I don't know what the hell's going on. A-level results day, don't care. If you've got your A-level results, then good for you. Do with them as you see fit. If you need to do more work, do more work. If you don't care, then you don't care. So whatever. Don't listen to other people telling you how you should interpret them or what they mean or any of that nonsense. In terms of what else is going on, I'm clueless. There's 2 certainties that I've come to realise in the last couple of weeks, and I'm now sort of more sure than ever that both these things will come to pass, which has made me feel slightly better. And that is that the 2 things that are dead in the water are Brexit and Trump, which are my 2 least favourite things in the world. Brexit is all but gone. I mean, it hasn't actually gone yet. The reality hasn't sunk in for some people, but it is dead in all but name. And Trump is very close to being at the end of his presidency, but he seems oblivious. So those are both cheered me up greatly. When they are both truly dead, I will be the first person to scream and shout with joy, and I'm not ashamed of my schadenfreude, so I'll be embracing it fully. I had to just pop back in time to do the sign off from last week because I was busy being ill. It was really enjoyable, the wine tasting last week. I don't know if I ever sort of caught you up on that, because that's about the time I started going downhill. So it's a lovely little vineyard, 12 acres in the Surrey hills, And the little walk we found is what we ended up doing again the following day, which you saw at the very beginning of this vlog. Lovely little place, really passionate, small family operation. Great to see. You know I'm a massive fan of English wine. So I'm just going to continue my little walk around here. I don't think I have anything further to add for the time being, so I'm just going to go for a stroll, enjoy the moderate peace and quiet, and see you in a moment. There's a rat. There's a couple of rats. Also, I got new glasses. I don't think I mentioned that. Or if I did, you didn't see them. So I've got a new pair of sunglasses, new pair of work glasses, and I like them a lot. And my necks are really itchy, as you can see. But these ones are slightly different tint, so everything is actually in the sun is a proper neutral colour. My old ones made everything look even warmer than it was. So that's good. Although I couldn't wear them yesterday because behind my ear was so painful and itchy and what have you. So it's nice to get out and about and actually use them. But I think I'm done following my rat discoveries. I think I'm done with walking today. So I'm going to head home. I'll see you tomorrow. Hello friends, it's Friday, I'm feeling better still. This is Ravenscourt Park Gardens. This is the walled garden. It's very nice, isn't it? I'm just doing a bit of a wander around on my way back from Westfield. So I feel better still than yesterday, as I mentioned, which is a big step forwards, and I'm probably back to about 95% now. It's still a few nerve endings that are being weird and twingly. I can't tell you the relief. I genuinely can't, unless you've experienced something genuinely long and painful. Then I don't think you probably know what it's like to suddenly not have it anymore. It's brilliant. I have such a sympathy for people who have like chronic diseases that, you know, last long period of time, not just a week, but actually years or even a lifetime. I have a sympathy I've never previously had. I can't imagine what it's like, because as I mentioned, this was the most painful thing I've ever had, and yet the only thing that was keeping me going was the knowledge that it will end. Without that, I don't know where I would have been. Right, let's go this way. But it is Friday, it is the last day of the week, and that means I do need to do a word of the week, which I haven't thought of yet. So I'm going to ponder upon that before I sign off. I'm really behind on vlogs. I was going to catch up earlier this week. Obviously that did not happen. So I'm going to go home and do at least 2 and see where that takes me up until... It's probably not enough. I probably need to do 3, which is very worrying, but there we go. But you know, world is my oyster now. I can do anything I like, so I'm going to sit in front of the telly and edit 3 vlogs. Okay, I'm back. I've thought of a word of the week. Having just looked it up, because I didn't know it in German, it's a ridiculously long word. So bear with me, my pronunciation might not be spot on. So anyway, this week's word of the week is going to be recovery. I figure that, you know, we've now completed the circle this way. So recovery is the word of the week. So, first of all, in German, recovery is die Wiederherstellung. Die Wiederherstellung, as on the screen. Yes, that is how you say recovery in German, and it is absurdly long, but there we go. Der Wiederherstellung is recovery in German. And in Italian, it's much more straightforward. It's il recupero. Il recupero. That is recovery in Italian. And that was this week's word of the week. I'm just finishing off my steps for the day. I've done one vlog and started on the second. It turns out I was only 2 behind, so that's not too bad. Although come tomorrow morning, I'll be 1 behind again. But you know, that's just how it is. But it's a nice evening, and I figured I'd carry on my little walk and make the most of it. Anyhow, I don't think I have anything further to add today, so I'm going to sign off. Thank you very much for watching me complaining about being horribly ill. I do hope you'll join me next week when I can try and promise that that won't happen again. And we might do some fun things this weekend, like look at cars. Ooh, cars, brum. So that might be good. And on Sunday, I'm going for a walk along the Thames with Steve and Tom between Henley and Reading. So that also sounds pretty good, if I'm honest. So thank you again for watching. I do hope you'll subscribe or click like, do all the appropriate things that help me out. And I will see you next week.
Toby Stupid